Three news stories for you. Firstly, viewers, we were waiting for an official statement from Tigray government about yesterday's resolution passed by UN Human Rights Council for independent international investigation into alleged war crimes committed in Tigray, Amhara and Afar regions. Tigray government has issued a statement. We'll talk about that. Secondly, Getachew Reda has responded to Ethiopian government's claims that government forces have taken control of Kobo, Uldia, and other major places. And lastly, fighting is being reported on Tigray-Afar border. Abala town is the place around 50 kilometers away from Mekelle. Abala is in Afar. Here fighting is being reported. Who started this fighting? Is TDF trying to enter Afar? Or Afar forces and ENDF are trying to enter Tigray to move towards Mekelle? We'll talk about this development. Firstly, Tigray government has issued a statement regarding yesterday's resolution passed by UN Human Rights Council for independent investigations into human rights abuses committed in Ethiopia. Tigray government, as was expected, has welcomed yesterday's resolution. Tigray government says it is going to form a task force which will stay in touch with international investigators, with the international community for the implementation of the resolution. So Tigray government is supporting, it's agreeing to the resolution passed at Human Rights Council's yesterday's session. Interesting situation, viewers, because Ethiopian government has rejected the resolution completely. Ethiopian government says it will not cooperate with international investigators. Tigray government is ready. What will the UN Human Rights Council do now? How will it conduct investigations? Firstly, now Human Rights Council will nominate 3 investigators who have not been nominated so far. They'll be nominated in coming days. After that, Ethiopian government, I think, will not give access to these investigators to Ethiopia. I think my assessment is that the investigators will start the investigations remotely. They'll conduct interviews by telephone. They might meet with refugees in Sudan, in other parts of the world. The refugees who fled Tigray, Amhara and Afar regions. So they might investigators might interview these refugees, and they could conduct remote interviews of people in Tigray, Amhara and Afar regions. And then they'll complete their investigation. That is what could happen. It has happened in the past that in some cases when some governments did not cooperate with UN investigators, they investigated remotely. Will UN Human Rights Council conduct this investigation remotely or not? That remains to be seen. But so far, Tigray government is ready to cooperate with international investigators. Ethiopian government has rejected this investigation. Now, secondly, Getachew Reda just I think 2 hours ago spoke in response to Ethiopian government statement that its forces have taken control of Kobo, Waldia, Haragovia. Getachew Reda says that all our withdrawals are their gains. He is saying that TDF is withdrawing. It's not that ENDF, regional forces, are making gains. Since TDF is withdrawing, so from wherever TDF withdraws, ENDF takes control of those areas. He is correct partially because TDF has been forced to withdraw. TDF tried to hold on to all these gains. It could not. It suffered losses. It had to withdraw. But yes, from where TDF is withdrawing, ENDF is stepping in and taking control of the places. Lastly, viewers, fighting is being reported on Tigray-Afar border, 50 kilometers away from Mekelle. Place of the fighting is Abala. Abala is a town on Tigray-Afar border. It is in Afar region. Afar news sources say that Tigray forces have opened this front. They have entered Abala. They're trying to enter Abala. No official statement from any Tigray-backed news source. But if you remember, I think more than 2 months ago, Ethiopian National Defense Force and Afar forces, they tried to enter Tigray and they wanted to move towards Mekelle. They entered from Abala, but they could not move towards Mekelle. A counteroffensive came and ENDF, Afar forces, they were pushed back towards Abala. Then fighting happened in Abala for some time and TDF then withdrew. I think same is happening here. TDF is doing some preemptive attacks in Abala because there are speculations have been going around that Mekelle could be attacked by ENDF and Afar forces. So maybe Tigray forces have launched this preemptive attack into Abala to stop any movement of land forces, ground forces from Afar region, ENDF and Afar forces towards Mekelle. I don't think that TDF would like to open a new front in Afar now. They're already withdrawing from their gains in Amhara region. They have withdrawn from large scale, large gains, territorial gains. Then they withdrew from Afar as well, where they suffered losses and they had to withdraw. Why would they now start a new front and try to advance into Abala? I think the only purpose of this offensive is to stop any movement of ground forces, ENDF and Afar forces into Tigray from Abala. We'll try to update you about this front in coming hours. Thank you for watching.